today's video, we are going to be doing a Dak Prescott versus the field. So how this is going to work is every quarterback will be paired up against Dak Prescott head-to-head, and we'll take either better or worse, or you'll get the point in a little bit. Either way, before we get into this video, let me remind you to go to w.gg, check out all their energy drinks and their other products. Their energy drinks are the best tasting ones you're going to find, and they're also cheaper per drink than you'll find pretty much anywhere else. They taste great, and they're cheap. What better can you get? Use code SHREDDER for 10% off your order, or click the link in the description, and let's get right into this video. So here's our tier list. Much better, better, the man in question, not better, much worse. That's all it is. It's very simple. Here's what we're going to start with. Cooper Rush. You know, this is actually a very interesting one because this is his actual backup. And yes, he is his backup, so you really can't say he's better than him. But how much worse is he? I mean, when we've seen Cooper Rush play in Dak's spot, he's not done that much worse than Dak has. And part of that can be attributed to maybe Dak's not as good overall as we think. Maybe it's the situation he's in that makes him a lot better than we think he is. Who knows? He's not better, though. Sam Darnold, he's not better. Fields, that's a tough one. Athletically, he's better, but like as a quarterback, he's much worse. Yeah, he's much worse. Jalen Hurts is definitely better than Dak Prescott. This year, Dak Prescott, like, I'll admit, I was a Dak hater before this season. And then this season, I was like, okay, this guy's actually, like, he's proven me wrong actively. And then the playoffs happened, and pretty much he went right back to where he was before. You just can't perform like that against a Packers team that was in the situation they were in and still be respected in the way that you should be. Oh, well, look at his stats. No, he had terrible stats up until the last quarter where nobody was playing. Geno Smith is not better than Dak. Bailey Zappe's much worse than him. Ryan Tannehill, I don't know where to think of him right now because of his injury concerns. I'll put him as just not better. Hendon Hooker's much worse. Josh Allen, much better than Dak Prescott. Jimmy G is not better. Jordan Love, this is an interesting one. He's played for like a year. Been in the league for 3, but he really only had a half season of good football. So I'm going to say he's not better. There's no way he's much worse, but like he's not better than him. You just can't say that. There's nothing you can do that can say that. Jaren Hall's not better. Colt McCoy is much better. I'm just kidding. He's not better. Get out of here. Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton's a very quality backup, but that's just it. It's just that. He's a quality backup. And I'll leave him in much worse. Bryce Young at this point is much worse. However, that says don't take that in totality to Bryce Young. He just didn't have a good situation this year. Jacoby Brissett, not better, but not too far off. Daniel Jones, much worse. Tanner McKee, much worse. Lamar Jackson, better, for sure. No doubt about it. Joe Burrow, much better. CJ Stroud, that is an extremely tough one. If you've been around my channel before, I don't give rookies, as guys coming off their first year, the most praise because you're setting bad, giving them not, what's the word here? I'm going blank. You're giving them way too high of expectations where if CJ Stroud has a worse year statistically than last year, he can still have a good year. They might not go 10-7 because they're going to play a first place schedule next year. But are they worse? Not necessarily. I think I'm going to put him as not better so far simply because he has to prove it long term. Tua, that's a really tough one as well. I'm going to go not better. There's a lot of doubt to his athleticism and whatnot. Brock Purdy. I say Brock Purdy's better. Is Brock Purdy a top 5 quarterback? He's not. Is he a top 10 quarterback? Maybe not. But he can work through this scheme of an offense. Is Dak a better... This is a tough one to go off of because is Dak potentially a better quarterback, a better athlete? Maybe so. But Brock Purdy doesn't mess up royally in the biggest of moments, and that's a huge part of this. Taysom Hill, I'm going to say much worse because up to this point, he's just not even a quarterback. Drew Lock, he's not better. That's it, though. Matthew Stafford's definitely better. Mac Jones is not better. Kenny Pickett, not better. Trevor Lawrence, I'm going to say better. I think if you give Trevor Lawrence the team that Dak Prescott has, I think he is plenty fine. I think part of Trevor Lawrence's difficulties so far have been, 1, he plays for the Jaguars. 2, his best receiver has been a wide receiver 2.5 on most teams. Christian Kirk is not even a wide receiver 2 on some teams. Like, he's a wide receiver 3 at best. Mike White, not better, not close. Sam Howell, not better, but that's it. Teddy Bridgewater, I'm going to go much worse. He's also retired at this point, so whatever. Davis Mills, hot take here, but, like, not that Davis Mills is that great, but he never got a fair shake at being the Texans starter. Let's just be real. That's a fact. I mean, dude was put in a spot where he had to compete with nothing around him. That's it. Gardner Minshew's not better. Matt Ryan, I think he's retired. I don't know. Will Levis, not better, but honestly, that one could be better soon. Russ, that's a tough one. Because is his problem really just Denver? He could be better this coming season. But right now, he's not. Next, Matt Corral, much worse. He's in the XFL now, USFL, UF, whatever it's called. Max Duggan, same thing. Kyler Murray is better. I don't think that's a doubt about it. Kyler Murray has nothing going for him or his team. Athletically, better. He's a better thrower of the football. He's a really good quarterback. Malik Willis is much worse. Anthony Richardson, at this point, is much worse simply because we haven't seen him play NFL quarterback. That's it. Stetson Bennett down here. Trey Lance, much worse. Like, okay, come on now. Zach Wilson, not that I believe in Zach Wilson, but I do think if one of the, like, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, and Mac Jones, if one of those guys had to come back later in their career and kind of run that Geno Smith form, for some reason I feel like it would be Zach Wilson. Trey Lance, he's not going to do anything. He's never going to accomplish anything in the league. Justin Fields, he's not a good enough passer, and in the amount of starts he's had, the amount of chances he's been given as the full-time starter, he's shown us enough. Jameis Winston is not better, but that's it. Baker Mayfield, we're going to have to come back to that one. Mahomes is much better, no doubt. Justin Herbert, much better, no doubt about it. Aaron Rodgers, assuming healthy, because here's the thing. People want to hate on Aaron Rodgers so much because he's just a quirky dude. And yeah, he is. I'm not a fan of the person. But as a quarterback, this guy might be the best quarterback of all time. Not the greatest, the best. Now, will that be passed by Patrick Mahomes? More than likely. But people act like he's dead. He's been hurt for one season. Why are we so upset about this? He is certainly better, if not much better. We're leaving him there. Jared Goff, I'll put him as better. I think he controls an offense better. I think he's got a better arm, in terms of accuracy. I think he's just a better quarterback. Same with Kirk Cousins. I think both of them are better. Dak Prescott is a very solid guy. He's not better than either of these. I'd take those two over him, for sure. Derek Carr, very close to Dak Prescott level. I don't think you can gauge him off of this last season in New Orleans. Not the best year for him, but let's look at next year. He had to get acclimated to the environment this year. Not better. Marcus Mariota, Clayton Tune, much worse. Desmond Ridder, much worse. Baker Mayfield. I think after this past year in the Tampa Bay team with Tampa Bay, I honestly want to put him as better. Based off of last year, I think you put Baker on that Dallas team, I think they're better. I do. So, either way, this is what we're looking at here. Let's make sure you can see all this, or at least as much of it as possible. So, much better than him, we've got 5 guys, no doubt about it. Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Brock Purdy. Matt, these are not in order of how much better they are. Lamar Jackson isn't necessarily much, or no, let's say this. Brock Purdy isn't necessarily better than Kyler Murray, something like that. Either way, you get the point. But all of these guys are better than Dak Prescott. All of these guys are worse than Dak Prescott. Really, the only relevant ones are this tier and this, because there's so many of them. But either way, what do you guys think about this? This is just my opinion, but what do you think? Who did I miss out on here? What should I change for the next time? And either way, give me another a player down in the comment section that you want to see me do versus the field of their position. Running back, wide receiver, quarterback. Either way, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next video.